Bonjour à toutes et à tous, bienvenue à cette discussion organisée dans le cadre de la 23e édition des RIDM qui se déroule actuellement en ligne jusqu'au 2 décembre. Mon nom est Selin Murat et je suis programmatrice au festival. La discussion qui va suivre portera sur le film Purple Sea, film allemand présenté dans le cadre de la section Survivre à la violence du 26 novembre au 2 décembre. Ce film est présenté en collaboration avec le Goethe Institut à Montréal. Comme la discussion va se dérouler en anglais, permettez-moi de changer de langue afin de vous introduire à nos invités. So it's my great honor to be speaking today with Amel, Alzakout and Khaled Abdulwahed, the filmmakers behind Purple Sea. So welcome to both of you. Thanks for being with us on this evening from Leipzig. Before we start the discussion, I just want to introduce your film to the audience. If they haven't seen it yet, they have to see it. But I think many will have seen it, but I wanted to give it a little context anyways. So Purple Sea is a devastating and essential film. Clear blue skies, we are in a calm, almost soothing sea, the sea that stretches between Turkey and the island of Lesbos. Except this is not a calm, welcoming sea, as the camera is sideways and jolting. We hear the sounds of whistles and muffled screams. We start to look at what is really in the frame: legs, shoes, orange and blue life vests. It's a shipwreck. A soft and strong voice starts to speak. She speaks to him, this love she is going to join in Germany, to herself and her memories, why she is here, and who she is going to become. She recalls why she had to get on this boat, and that has now sunk, and no one is coming to the rescue. She speaks to stay calm, she gets angry to stay awake. She has to bear witness to what is happening to her and everyone around her, so that we collectively acknowledge this catastrophe. Amel Alzakout, you're born in 1988 in Syria. You're an artist and filmmaker based in Leipzig. Between 2010 and 2013, you studied journalism at Cairo University in Egypt. Purple Sea is your directing debut. Previous work include Backyard in 2018, Stranger's Diaries in 2019 with Khaled Abdulwahed, and Home Sweet Home in 2010, again with Khaled. Khaled, you were born in 1975 in Syria. You're an artist, photographer, and filmmaker, also based in Leipzig. Between 1996 and 2000, you studied fine arts and graphic design at Adham Ismail Art School in Damascus, in Syria, and at Frederick University in Nicosia in Cyprus. Previous works include Bullet in 2011, Touche in 2012, Slot in Memory 2013, Jellyfish 2016, Backyard 2018, Stranger's Diaries 2019 with Amel, and Purple Sea, and of course, Home Sweet Home, also with Amel. This film is both a work of art and it's a powerful tool for activism. So I'd like to talk about both. Amel and Wahed, you made this film together, and Khaled, you made this film together along with your trusted collaborators in Germany. I think we can let it be known that it was you, Khaled, that you're the man that Amel speaks to, whose kisses she recalls, and that she's going to Joan. I think that's pretty clear, we can say that. So over 300 people were on that boat and 42 drowned trying to reach Greece. Can you situate the political context of this humanitarian crisis for our audience?
First, thank you for having us. We are really happy to be here. I mean, even though I was in this catastrophe and this event, I'm not sure if I'm the right person to speak about it, actually, because I mean it happens, it keeps happening, and it will keep happening, unfortunately, and we cannot. I mean, it seems that nobody's doing anything to stop this. So on the 27th of October 2015, I took this boat from the shore of Lesbos, shore of Turkey, sorry, toward Lesbos, the island in Greece, and we reached. Sorry, we took it from Istanbul on the 27th, and we reached the shore on the 28th. Of October, where we took the ship, the wooden ship. We were supposed to be 40 people only, and what happened is that we were 300, as you said, 303 actually, The wooden boat was really very damaged, and I mean, it seems that they knew, the smugglers, that it's not going to last like longer. Yeah, I mean, the incident happened, you see in the film, and it has been very difficult situation. But the thing is, I mean, I don't know really politically where to start from. I mean, do we start from the cause that led us to take this route, or do we jump directly to Europe, where people Europe is closing its border and not like helping properly? Yeah, so I mean, it's a catastrophe, as you said, but I mean, how in the film we dealt with it from very individual point of view, like I mean, the experience of an individual. It's not the individual who had the camera, or who filmed the trip, but everybody who was in that situation, actually. So I think politically we just wanted to just refer to the situation that these people are human beings, and they are not numbers. We are not like refugees. These labels should not be really the only thing that people will think about it. So yeah, we try to do our best.
Well, it's an extremely effective way to make a deeply human film about a catastrophe and a political context, as you said. Did you know that were you always going to film yourself during this journey? And was it as a filmmaker, or was it to bear witness? What was the purpose? What were you thinking when you put that camera around your wrist and decided to film?
It was an unusual thing that I would do, to go with a smuggler in the sea to reach Europe. It's something that I would never think of if I'm not really like obliged. So when I decided to film, it was I had this situation into consideration, that I would really like to keep this moment, this very bizarre moment, for myself, and also I wanted to share it with Khaled. He always wanted to be with me. He said like I could come back, even like it was really very unrealistic idea, but I mean, I just wanted to share it with him. And also, I mean, I love filming. I used to film in Istanbul, actually. And after the revolution in Syria, I mean, since the revolution, the camera started to be part of our daily life. And yeah, we were documenting like our presence in the revolution and our absence as well. So it's kind of, yeah, very natural act, I think.
From my side, I was from the lucky ones who just flee Middle East from Turkey by plane, which is also in the film, and it was kind of unfortunate situation that that the person I love will cross through the land, through the sea, through smugglers, and this is what Amel wished to film at the beginning. I mean, I knew that she wanted to film her trip. She told me like, I want to film it. I want to film this unusual unusual situation. So maybe you could see it and you can calm down. And,
yeah, so you could understand what she had been going through because you couldn't go with her. Although rewatching the film and listening to the voiceover, you know, you offer to come, and she says, "No, I won't feel safer if you're here." It's true. So this happens. Obviously you didn't expect to have a shipwreck, and you didn't expect this to happen the way that it happened. And so you made it to Europe, and you made it eventually to Germany. And I don't know if you want to talk about that process, but I'm interested in how did you start to get around this footage? Did you, when did you figure that you could look at it? You know, the formation of this film, when did it come to your mind? How long did it take you to get into the idea of making Purple Sea?
Yes, as you said, it was just, it has been like, it was supposed to be a beautiful trip in my head. So I was filming in different cameras. I think it's important to mention that also the kind of material I had, like it's just my phone, a small camera, and also because we had everything we had it at home, and also the waterproof camera, which doesn't has a screen, so you cannot see what you are filming or if it's filming even. Mm-hmm. Just have a slider on and off kind of thing. So I wasn't sure that it was filming actually, the other devices that I have, it's like the phone and the normal camera. It's of course it was full of water and it was damaged completely. The waterproof camera, I was filming from the beginning, like from the road from Istanbul to Izmir and everything. I was in control actually until the moment that the incident happened. And from that moment, it was the camera perspective. It was never my perspective. So I had this feeling that what could the camera film? In such a situation, I was never in the mood to recall what the camera could film or. So at the beginning, I just tried to see if I took the card from the camera, and I just wanted to see if it has filmed actually, because I wasn't convinced it could, even if it's a waterproof. So I just looked at it and I saw that there is water, so I knew that it has filmed. And then I had the feeling that I was curious to really see what the camera has filmed. I started to see them not in full, but in like small, like I was jumping from a footage to another footage to just to see if I can really relate to something. Like the memory I have in my head, is it the same that in the camera? And I was shocked when I really saw the footages, especially the underwater footages. I felt like really it's something that I never lived even in such a situation. So for me, I think it was fast that I really started to look at them, but with no intention to do anything with them at the beginning, the film. For Khaled, it was different process.
On my side, it was, Amel said she was shocked, so I was beyond shocked. I couldn't imagine that such a thing was filmed. And especially that, later on, because really it took me a lot of time to have the courage to see such footages. I was sneaking behind Amel all the time. Amel, as she said, she was from time to time put it on our computer screen and look at it. And Actually, it took me like 1 year to see the full 4 hours, even more, maybe 5 hours, including the road and yeah. Even for me, even I mean, with all the distance I have, I didn't think of a film too. I mean, the footages are made by a camera which was tied to Amel's wrist while she was surviving her life, and that was too much to take on board and think of a film. So Amel first wanted to have this footages as an evidence to take a legal action, whatever it is. And I joined her with her wish. We went to lawyers, and we found out that this will be too much work, and we didn't know where it will go. I mean, what the point at the end? So who to blame or to sue? And later on, we spoke with forensic architecture, who are specialized in making video investigation about accidents or incidents of human rights violation, and that was the closest step to a film, let's say. And yeah, it took us like 1 year and a half to feel that the distance that allow us to think of a film. Yeah.
So the forensics architecture that exists in the world, it's you can see it online on Vimeo. So it's the whole 4 hours of the ship, of the wreck, of the whole journey for you that you see there. And what does forensics architecture, what do they do with this footage?
They first of all, they took it. They at the beginning, because the camera has filmed, and the camera, I mean, it's very. I don't want to go into very much details, because it's. I think, I mean, they are more. They could talk more about it, but it's like they deconstruct the scene. Let's say they collected evidence, not only from me, from everyone who was present at that moment. There was the Greek Coast Guard, volunteers, Proactivia, jet skis, like the volunteers from Proactivia, and someone on the shore who was filming. So it's really like they collected everything. They built the scene again, and they tried actually even to bring footages from Frontex, but this wasn't possible. Frontex was there from the very beginning, and they made interviews with many people, and they also make a timeline for the to see who's responsible, why for instance Frontex didn't respond quickly to what happened, and why it took them this long time to rescue everybody, why 42 people has to die. So these kind of questions that I have, and everybody has, I think, they tried just to give a kind of answer about.
And it was great to see their process, to understand their work. I mean, they took those multiple perspectives, including Amel's footages, and they created very accurate timeline, which you know exactly how this happened, how this, when the helicopter came, and when that boat has reached, what the response of the Coast Guard, what
also the weather, like
the weather situation
and the water, like how it was cold, how cold it was.
And this helped us on different levels, of course, I mean, to comprehend what happened, just from a materialistic point of view, from even more materialistic, just to see it from distance, from that distance, and from somehow like a 3D panorama to the incident. And this has helped us a lot to have even more distance and to focus on our film, on our personal experience, starting from Amel, who is in the seawater, and me on the shore, or safe side.
Yeah. So exactly. So Purple Sea is of all the other elements of what so forensics architecture shows you the reality and the responsibilities and this big view. And then Purple Sea is it's like almost like a womb. It's like this extremely intimate, extremely sort of so deeply human. It has all the emotions that something like a 360 recreation would just show you the reality. And this was all about your like deep feelings of everything that may have been going on, not just when you were in the water, Amel, but also as you were waiting, as you were going, as you were trying to get somewhere. So Purple Sea is to me it's also this it's a work of art, and I really see it that way. And there's so much that I'm curious about in terms of your editing choices and the voiceover, because the voiceover is yours, Amel, even though you speak of this man, like I mentioned, whose kisses you remember, and of this woman who has of a child, and there's and memories from Syria and memories of Istanbul. And so this voiceover, I think it's very poetic, and I'm curious how you chose to work on the voiceover and to work on the editing. And I know in this process you were co-directing together, but you also had a very important team that supported and surrounded you for the process of making the film. So please tell us like exactly what went into the creative process of the making of Purple Sea itself. There's a lot, I'm sure. Who wants to start?
Yeah. I mean, we are so lucky to have friends on our side, which they are the artists who work on this film, the producers. They are initially our friends. I mean, we know them before, Amel knows them before. And they were involved from the beginning. So this is also, it's their story. I mean, when Amel had the incident, I was in Berlin with them, figuring out, after we knew that Amel is safe, when she reached the shore, and how she will continue the journey from Lesbos to Berlin. So they were part of the story, and this has helped us a lot, that we are working with artists, first of all, who we really admire their work. Secondly, they are part of the story. So that was a huge advantage for us. And this is maybe also what made us encouraged to do the film. And how we started, we did everything possible, really. I mean, we thought of this film from all angles we could imagine. Would we do it from the retrospective, because Amel in Berlin, I'm in Berlin, Would we do it from the past when Amel had the choice to and we tried all this, and I wouldn't say that everything has fallen apart because of the intensity of being in the seawater. But I would say like trying all those perspectives, all those possibilities has helped us to concentrate on what's the most important. Because this thing is too grand to combine it with anything. Really, even the present, our present in Berlin felt like, yeah, so what? I mean, somebody could survive. Thankfully, Amel did with other people, and unfortunately, people has lost their lives there. And this is where Amel started to recall her let's call it like a mind status. What's happening inside her mind during this incident and during the camera filming. And that was where we felt like, okay, this is the direction we are going through, and we start to build the story with the film team from that point.
Yeah, I think, I mean, the most important thing was not to close the space to the incident itself, like just to open it up for beyond this. I mean, if we are talking about how do you call people, like for instance, numbers, refugees, and everything. We just really need to do something that change this situation, because you are people. Everyone in the water has his own experience, has his own life, and this is something it was very important for me and for everybody else, I think, to just to talk about it and to just to open the space, as I said. So we start to write. I mean, we wrote the text together with also Alex, Merle, and Philip
as
as dramatist, and I mean, it was really like how do you open the space without looking yourself to the story itself. Like, it is there, but it's not the most important thing. Of course, I mean, it's a big thing, but what makes it important is that you had life before and you are still living your life. And as Khaled said, the mind state of someone who's in this situation, of course, it's very something that very weird to recall. So it's not, I mean, the text is fictionized, of course. It's based on real memories, but you cannot recall it, so you need to rewrite it in a way. So yes, I mean, it was really, I think the text was the key. I mean, the footages were there. They were very strong. You could not avoid them. You could not do anything with them. Like, I mean, they are there. They are something that we had, of course, we could talk now more about our choices with the footages as well, because most of the footages are under the water, but we have other more footages above the water, actually. But it was really the text that give us it was the lead, actually, the leading thread too.
And it covered also all the because it's like the mind of someone inside the seawater, its mind status. It could open everything that we wish to have. Like, what if? What is the future? What was the past? The past went to the from the character of the film to the childhood, then going expecting what the future, if I survive or if not survive. So instead of surrounding or instead of working around the story to target the center, the being in the seawater, it was the opposite. It's from the seawater has opened everything. It opened the past, it opened possibilities of the future, because the future we have, it's not singular direction. We had like 3 directions for the future. If. And yeah, and this is about the text, about the footages. We struggled a lot because what Amel has captured, most of the footages, more than maybe 60% of the footages, are above the water, and above the water there is faces, there is people are trying to
violence.
It's too violent, and at the same time, as Amel explained it always, like it's not her. It's very weird, the perspective. It's, yes, it is attached to the wrist, but it's not what she was seeing. I mean, and there we made a lot of choices, from accepting to rejecting. Amel didn't wish to see herself in the seawater. I didn't wish to see her. I mean, you don't want this situation to last forever in a piece of film. I mean, to see yourself and to recall yourself, or to see your lover and recall your lover there. And which applies on us as individuals, as people. We could imagine it that it applies for the other people that Amel was with them on the boat. I mean, no one wants to I think, to be filmed or to recognize the face and to recognize everything in such horrible situation. I mean, it's too harsh, and this is where we found the peacefulness of the images. Mostly is under the water, even though we were so much also afraid from the beauty of the under the water, that the beauty will swallow us, or no, I mean, we struggled with it.
It is harsh. It's not only beauty. I mean, it is harsh. Like the voices that are coming from above the water, and you hear it. I mean, I think it's really important that the under the water footages open the space for the text to that you could really fly with your also imagination and with what you are hearing, but also I think it gives the freedom to the viewer to like to have the kind of feeling they really want to have. You are not showing something that you are like really in purpose making them seeing violent images, or just to really to speak to the. I mean, I think everybody, you could easily connect, or you could easily connect to the. I mean, we are emotionally, I think, very much involved with all this news and everything. So it's not hard if you see something violent to connect to it and to feel the situation. But I don't think this is, I mean, from my point of view, I think we have enough of harshness in this world of, harsh images in particular. And for myself, I prefer not to be all the time exposed to it. I feel like I still want to feel the suffering, let's say, of something, of other people, without really looking at them. I mean, I could really feel it. I don't know if you say somebody's drowning, you could, just imagine you are a human being and you could be. So I really, I think we didn't want to force people just to look at these at horror.
And I think also we are so much overwhelmed, saturated by violent images. And it's there. It's in the news. It's everywhere. And the question is what those footages are doing. Yes, they are so painful. They could connect you, but really, it's instant. Somehow, those footages are carrying a trauma. We are. When we see something traumatizing this way, it might feel so much powerful and harsh, but this is instant because we start to defense our minds start to reject it. So it's useless. It's useless to see violence because you shut down. You don't want to see it. You don't want to remember it after 5 minutes from watching it. So it's a useless act. And also it locks us to that situation. We forget about everything. We just absorb violence. We forget even this violence is happening with a human being who has past, who has future, who has... It kills everything. I don't know. This is also my opinion. So this is where we wanted to go in the complete opposite direction. Like, no, we are a human. We have memories. We are individuals. Yeah, this is what we tried to do.
Well, you definitely achieved it, because I've read, I've read reviews of the film, and every review I've read, the writer says that within 2 minutes they were crying, but also after those 2 minutes of crying, they don't stop watching, because you want to know more about this woman who's speaking to you. And even though you know what's happening and you understand, and there are moments that are quite beautiful and peaceful, and in a way, we have to thank you for preserving us from what was more violent around you. But still, we understand both the devastating event that is occurring, but all the humanity in this woman's voice just permeates, and you want to be with her in that journey. It's Purple Sea is, like I said before, devastating, but I think it's essential because, as it is a piece of art, it is definitely a piece of activism as well. It bears witness in a way that an audience has to accept it, has to see it for what it is, and as you said, shouldn't turn away. And I don't think the audiences do. On the contrary. So, I've been so excited to speak to you about this film because I wanted to congratulate you and to tell you that, it's a beautiful piece of work. And actually, I see that you're doing more pieces of work together. So this collaboration of love and art, and can you tell me a bit more about what's happening now? What's Home Sweet Home about?
Yeah. It was both from boredom and excitement work, I think, because we came from Berlinale and Corona started, we were at home, and we had this, like, we wanted really to do something as everybody else, like not just sitting in front of each other and not doing anything. So we had there was a competition, like kind of it's called Corona Creative Competition.
With the MDR.
With the MDR, it's the local TV project and the Saxony. So yeah, I mean, we liked the idea. We read it, and we liked the idea that it was really it was free, like just as an artist, do whatever you want to do, and yeah, just send us the proposal. So we wanted to try, actually. Home Sweet Home, the idea came from home, as you said, and about the obsession of that we have from the outside that we carry to our home, as now we are in the lockdown and everything. So we thought of we built kind of a laboratory where we did some experiment with what we know about Corona, and we just did it in a very small setup, and we had really very kind of simple materials to work with. Yeah, and we did this laboratory together.
We started to test the masks, what the use of the mask, how to recycle gloves, and so what you could see from the film, there is two guys are so much madly obsessed about cleaning and experimenting. It's just like a home lab, let's say. So we literally turned our home to an empty space with unnecessarily tools. And this is what it was about.
Has this film come out yet?
Yes. It's on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, good to know. And you mentioned you worked with MDR, but for Purple Sea, you worked with, or your producers, and you worked with Arte. So the film is also visible in in many countries in Europe, I assume, just on TV.
It was, I think. Is it still on TV? I don't think it's online.
Okay.
On Arte, but they had like
it was for a short period, but I'm not sure if it's expired.
Yeah, I remember seeing that it was out in France and at other sort of European countries at one point, maybe a few months ago, and it was also premiered at Berlinale. Yeah, and it's been I know it was a Vision du Réel. That's where I saw it, and then I know it's been traveling to many other places since. What are you hoping for the film now that it's done and out in the world? Do you want to travel with it? Do you want to talk about it a lot more? Do you want to move on from it? Like, what are your feelings about Purple Sea?
Very good question.
From my side, I wish to be physically with it. We've done once with the Berlinale, and
Berlin,
it was
yeah,
great actually experience, I think. And I did it lately at Hamburg, and I think it's great to be there. Just it's a different feeling, but I think it also applies to any film. I mean, every filmmaker, he wants to be with his film, and I think to feel it, to feel the from no distance actually with the audience. It would be great to travel with it, but also, I mean, it's a good question. I mean, there is part that we need to move on to work, to continue working, and now especially with the situation, it's really, you feel that you are stuck, and there's like you can't see much further what will happen. So yeah, Hard to say.
And do you feel the same way, Khaled?
I feel that we are so much lucky to have Purple Sea premiered. We were with it, and I mean, comparing to thousands of filmmakers, they had a premiere a little bit later and they couldn't be with their film. But also, yeah, it feels so much like, yes, we want to move on, but we want also to be with it, hopefully in the future, in a cinema. I mean, Amel, myself, Alex, Merle, Philippe, Enas, everybody worked on this film. We worked on it to be in a cinema space. Simone, the sound designer. I mean, we did all our energy, like this work is for cinema. It's great to see it online. I mean, it reached to people we couldn't imagine that they would see it, which is great also. I mean, we can't complain about that, but just being with it, and we are thankful. I mean, what's happening now is somehow bridging the gap. I mean, we are with it, not on the stage. We are.
Yeah, we try.
Living room, we are trying, yeah, but. Yeah.
Well, we would have loved to welcome you in Montreal, and we're just happy that you accepted to have Purple Sea at RIDM this year. And I hope that this conversation will, enlighten a lot of audiences and other filmmakers to your process, to what you went through, to the film itself, to all the beauty of it, and all sort of the essential elements of this film being made. And I really want to thank you both for spending the time with us from getting late in Germany. So thank you so much for being with us, Amel and Khaled, for this wonderful discussion. I hope that we can meet in person soon.
Hopefully. Yeah. We are optimistic.
Maybe
Yeah.
We will make it work. We'll be in the same room and in the same cinemas again soon. I hope. Yeah. So thanks for being with us for this dialogue, and thank you for the film. Please thank your team for the work that they did. I know that it was important for you to mention this collective work, so I want to really give appreciation to teamwork on a beautiful film. And I look forward to watching your other films, Home Sweet Home and the rest, and to keeping in touch.
Sure.
Thank you for being with us.
It's our pleasure to have the conversation with you.
It's great to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you again, Amel and Khaled, for this wonderful conversation. To remind our audience, our selection is available online at enligne.ridm.ca. Donc, merci beaucoup, Amel et Khaled, pour cette conversation. Pour rappeler à notre public que notre sélection et ce film, bien sûr, sont disponibles sur notre site enligne.ridm.ca. Bon cinéma!